Alright, we are going to be talking about the fight that happened a couple hours ago between Tommy Fury and Jake Paul. Jake Paul, Tommy Fury. So the fight just happened, and well, I'm shocked, but at the same time, I'm not shocked. Well, I did a prediction like 2 days ago talking about the fight, and I predicted that Jake Paul would end up knocking out Tommy Fury in the later rounds. But it looks like it didn't go that way. Tommy actually ended up outboxing Jake Paul majority of the fight with the jab. You know, the jab is key. The jab did the job. He kept jabbing and he kept messing up the rhythm of Jake Paul. Jake Paul really couldn't really get any combinations out. It was having a lot of trouble with Tommy Fury's jabs. So what Jake Paul decided to start doing was try to go for that one shot. You know, started just to go for that one shot. He tried to go for that overhand right, and he tried to connect that overhand right. He tried to time it. He tried to time Tommy Fury's jab, and counter him with the overhand right and try to KO him with one shot. It's what Jake Paul tried to do in that fight, but it didn't go his way. The experience that Tommy Fury has ended up being the deciding factor in this fight. He was boxing well. He was staying outside of the pocket. He wasn't getting near Jake Paul. He was jabbing. He was moving around the ring, and yeah, he was pretty much outboxing Jake Paul the whole fight. And the only damage that Jake Paul ended up doing to Tommy Fury was a headbutt, the clash of heads, and a couple of solid lefts, and he ended up hitting Tommy Fury with that overhand right that he was looking for, but didn't end up really taking out Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury absorbed that punch pretty well, and it got pretty easy for Tommy Fury because he figured out obviously what Jake Paul was trying to do. He figured out that Jake Paul was trying to set him up and counter him with that overhand right. So he kept aware of that overhand right from Jake Paul, and that's all he had to do. He just had to he just had to stay focused. Tommy Fury just needed to stay focused and watch that right overhand the whole fight, and that's what he did. Jake Paul ended up getting a knockdown on Tommy Fury in the last round with a jab. It was both Tommy Fury's feet and the unbalancing plus the jab. A combination of all that ended up knocking down Tommy Fury, but it was mostly a flash knockdown, to be honest. It was mostly a flash knockdown because Tommy Fury didn't look like he took damage with that jab. So he stood back up and he just kept fighting. He kept doing his game plan, and Jake Paul just wasn't able to do anything about it. But yeah, a lot of people were saying that it was a robbery and that Jake Paul got robbed. It should have been a draw. And some people are saying that he even won, which is nonsense. It's complete nonsense. They just don't know about boxing, man. A couple of good shots and a knockdown isn't going to win you the fight. That does not mean that you win every round. The fight, it's about rounds. The more rounds you win, you end up winning the fight, man. And Tommy Fury did just that. He took most of the rounds, man. I just had Jake Paul with two rounds. I just had him winning 2 rounds, man. And then obviously the point taken away from Tommy Fury, but Jake Paul also got a point taken out as well. So they both had a point deduction, but it wasn't enough, and a knockdown from Jake Paul, but it wasn't enough. Come on, man. Tommy Fury outboxed Jake Paul completely. He boxed his ears off, and Tommy Fury had the most punches landed, the most punches thrown. He was the one active in the fight. Jake Paul was literally in the last couple rounds, he was trying to survive. He was literally trying to survive Tommy Fury, bro. He kept hugging him. He was gassed. He kept hugging him. He just, every time Tommy tried to throw a combination, Jake Paul just, he had nothing else but to just clinch. Just to clinch and just prevent from Tommy Fury to get off his combinations. Because it was more easy for Tommy to get his combinations later in the fight because Jake Paul was completely gassed. So obviously, you know, as a tactic, Jake Paul decided to just clinch, keep clinching and clinch. And he was pretty much trying to survive the last couple rounds. And he was just depending on that one shot and it didn't happen. So I just don't know how people had Jake Paul winning or even a draw, man. But yeah, I mean, I got my prediction wrong. I thought Jake Paul was gonna win by KO in the later rounds, but it turns out that Tommy Fury won, outboxed Jake Paul, and exposed Jake Paul, made him look like a fraud. And now, hopefully, that could shut down Jake Paul and from him calling out Canelo, calling out all these actual, you know, champions, man. Or else it's gonna be his funeral. He's gonna end up 6 feet down, bro, with a liver shot. But yeah, I mean, we could say that Tommy Fury saved Jake Paul from his funeral by beating him. So now Jake Paul knows his level, so he won't even try to go up a level just to get completely embarrassed. But alright, man, that's it. That's gonna be it for it today. Jake Paul lost his first fight. Tried to go his first fight as an undefeated pro boxer. It is no more. Tommy Fury did it for all of boxing, man. And yeah, man, Tommy Fury took the W. Well deserved, man. Well deserved. He was late. I had a feeling he was gonna get robbed. But good thing, you know, good thing they saw what we saw. No bullshit. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this fight, and we'll see what's gonna happen with Tommy Fury and Jake Paul. They're saying about a rematch, but I don't know. I mean, they're gonna go for the rematch 100%, man. It was an entertaining fight, but yeah, even though it was not that good quality boxing, it was pretty competitive for the level of those two. But yeah, man, peace out and good luck to Jake Paul, man. It's over.